Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So it's time for another recap of our favorite ratchet show, honey, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready and let's go ahead and get this recap popping. So in the opening scene, we have FabAB and she's sitting there chilling with her sisters, honey, looking like a big ass emu bird, okay? Her neck is extra long, her face is extra worried, and she's extra mad. She wants to hear from Miles. She wants Miles to finish telling her what he was gonna tell her at Stacy's house. She wants closure. She wants to know what Miles was up to and if Miles was potentially with Mulan. So she ends up calling Miles and she has him on speakerphone with her sisters all around listening, which I thought was very, very immature. Miles ends up admitting that he is with Mulan and that they've had sex together. And then Amber gets upset. She starts going off on him, calling him all types of bitches. My thing is this, FabAB. First of all, how do you call yourself trying to get closure? What closure do you need? This man told you last week that he's not into you. You and him have not been in a relationship for years and that he is gay. At the end of the day, he doesn't owe you any more than that. You need to move on and go get a new storyline. Miles is not checking for you and Mulan's ass is definitely not checking for you, okay? How you doing? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we had Teairra and Moniece, honey. So they're at the nail shop and Moniece is saying that her fingers look really ratchet. She needs her nails done. I'm gonna need Moniece to stop worrying about her fake ass nails and start worrying about her real son, okay? How you doing? So anyways, Teairra decides to tell Moniece that she really appreciates Moniece having her back during the whole confrontation with Princess. Now it's obvious that Princess's words really got to Teairra because now Teairra is deciding to go get liposuction. She's admitting that she's fat, she's overweight, and that she needs to lose weight. But instead of her hitting the gym and working out naturally, she decides to go about getting a quick fix and getting liposuction. But the thing is, what Teairra needs to realize, just because you get your stomach and your waist sucked in, it's not gonna do anything for your chubby ass face, your wide ass shoulders, and your big ass back, okay? Teairra needs to get into the gym. This girl is not morbidly obese. She's probably about 20 pounds overweight. She has a beautiful face, but she needs to stop being lazy and take the easy route, okay? Just because you get liposuction, it's not gonna be the be-all, end-all. It's not gonna fix your insecurity issues. It's not gonna make your life better. Yes, your stomach may get flatter, but at the end of the day, the rest of her is still big. And unless she's gonna get a full body liposuction, she needs to go hit the gym. You cannot compare your shape to that of Moniece. Moniece is a naturally thin girl. Everybody's not meant to be stick thin. She needs to just worry about being healthy and stop being lazy. You can't eat Burger King every day then expect to have $1 million body. It's very obvious that Teairra is a very jealous woman. She's very spiteful. She's jealous because Princess has a nice body and that Ray J basically chose Princess, and now she's thinking that she runs and go gets plastic surgery that's going to solve all her issues, but she doesn't realize it's not going to solve anything because she's going to have a flat stomach, but she's still going to be walking around loving hip hop Hollywood like a damn linebacker, okay? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next thing we have Little Fizz, and Little Fizz is getting little Cameron, who is his son with Moniece, ready. Moniece is supposedly supposed to come and get Cameron. Cameron's super excited. He's getting his backpack, he's getting his shoes on, and then he gets on the couch and he starts waiting for his mother. And lo and behold, once again, for the third weekend in a row, Moniece does not show up. Little Cameron ends up falling asleep on the couch while waiting for Moniece to come to the house, and Moniece doesn't show up. This whole situation really pissed me off. I don't understand how Moniece is more concerned about rich dollars moving in with her and she's more concerned about covering up tattoos and all this other bullshit, but yet and still she's not concerned about seeing her son after 3 weeks. This just goes to show you that Moniece has some fucked up ass priorities. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene we have Hazel-E, and Hazel-E has been in a terrible ATV accident and she has all these bandages on her face, well, particularly on her nose. Miss Nikki baby, Miles, and Teairra are all there to, visit her. She's breaking down crying. She's upset because the blogs are saying that she faked this accident to basically go get her nose done, go get a nose job. She's really upset because she feels like this is how they make their money, and now that her nose is cut up and, all jacked up, this is gonna affect her livelihood. Everyone's trying to be there for her, and Teairra's like, you can't worry about the blogs. It's a bunch of miserable people. The blogs call me fat. They say Nikki's plastic. They say you're ugly, but you can't worry about that. First of all, Teairra, the blogs are not making that up. You are fat, you are overweight, and you like to throw stones as if your body's just on point, okay? Miss Nikki Baby's body is plastic from head to toe. So that's not shade either, that's the truth. Now Hazel-E, I can say this, she's very much grown on me since the first season. I think the reason why a lot of people thought Hazel-E was ugly was because of her attitude. If you guys remember first season, she came on that bitch like she was all that in a bag of chips. She had all types of jokes. She wanted to go in on everybody, talk shit about everybody else, and people had to bring her down a peg or two. And then once folks started writing her like, okay, how you gonna talk about this girl and that girl when you're not all that yourself, then she humbled herself. You know what I'm saying? So people just didn't come out the gate and call her ugly because of how she looked. I think she has a pretty face, but her attitude first season was ugly as hell. And then once folks checked her ass, then she calmed the hell down and she became a nicer person. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we had Broke Panties and Moniece's mom. I guess Moniece's mom is not used to somebody checking her ass, because when I tell you the second time around, her ass was super humble towards Broke Panties, okay? How you doing? So Broke Panties comes in there and he's basically letting Moniece's mom know that, you know, he feels like her and Moniece need to have a better relationship. And Moniece's mom is telling him like, you know what? I've tried with my daughter, but she's very manipulative. You know what I'm saying? She likes to twist things around. She sees things a certain way. And she basically ends up having Little Fizz's back and tells Rich Dollars about how Moniece really lost custody because she's lying this whole time, making it seem like everybody conspired against her to take her son from her. So once Rich hears this, you know, Rich is kind of surprised, but, you know, he's still going to take it with a grain of salt. And he also feels like at the end of the day, Marla is Moniece's mom and she needs to have Moniece's back and not be so quick to defend Little Fizz. Now, my thing is this, I don't understand why folks are so upset with Marla for having Little Fizz's back. I think for her to be saying the truth, I can respect that, because most parents would sit there and make excuses for their children, and Marla's not doing that. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Nia Riley, and basically she's having a mommy and mimosas event where she's inviting a bunch of, I guess, single mothers to come and drink wine and champagne while their kids are, you know, off in La La Land somewhere. But lo and behold, her dad, Teddy Riley, decides to show up. Basically, he's upset because Nia's sisters have been telling him how bad Soulja Boy has been treating her and playing her and everything else. And Teddy Riley is coming in as a concerned father. And basically, you know, he's coming at Nia and he's saying, you know, I don't like the fact that he's disrespecting you. You deserve better. You should know your self-worth. And Nia has an attitude towards them, and she feels like, you know what, you really can't talk because, you know, you weren't the best husband to my mother either. You know, you were kind of a player as well. And see, now this is the thing that trips me out with men, and that's why I say sometimes a daughter is a man's greatest karma. You know what I'm saying? Because as we all know, Teddy Riley was a whore. He has all types of kids by different women. You know what I'm saying? He was out here dogging these same women, but it's funny that when the same shit is happening to his daughter, now he's in his feelings. How about you have respect for the women that you're dating, you treat them right, so that way your karma and your bullshit won't come back on your daughter. I don't feel bad for Nia at all. If Nia likes this situation, then I love it. She's a grown-ass woman and she wants to deal with the dude continuously cheating on her and disrespecting her. That's on her. But the sad thing is, while she's giving Soulja Boy props for, you know, helping to raise her daughter, she needs to realize her daughter is also watching how Soulja Boy is treating her mother. And all that's doing is creating another cycle where once Cam gets older, she's going to be dating and attracting the same type of shitty ass dudes that Nia has in her life. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we had Teairra, and Teairra is accompanying Hazel-E to the doctor's office. Basically, they're getting ready to take off her band-aids, and they end up taking it off, and Lord, I felt bad for her. She broke down crying. She was like, my face. After all this, I didn't even get my plastic surgery. I had the same nose. So she's really upset. And I'm like, how did you think they were going to give you plastic surgery when you just said before they were trying to save your nose from literally, you know, rotting off your face? You know, their main thing is to get your nose stabilized. Then they can always go in and fix whatever they need to fix. You know, I understand her being upset, but for folks who are thinking that she really went and got a nose job, y'all need to wake up. There's nothing different about that nose. It looks like the same damn nose she went to Dubai with, except for the fact that she has a big ass gash on the tip of her nose. That shit looks crazy as hell. I feel bad for her. Hopefully that gash on her nose will heal up soon and she'll be okay. Trust and believe when I say this, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, her ass will definitely be getting a nose job, and she's gonna use this ATV excuse as an excuse for why she's getting that nose job. Mark my words. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Wide Mouth Brandi. So Wide Mouth Brandi and her husband Max are meeting with Nick Cannon. Why Nick Cannon keeps coming on these ratchet ass reality TV shows, I don't know. I don't know if he's looking for a slot, if he wants to get written into one of these seasons, but he's always appearing on some type of love and hip hop something. So anyways, Nick Cannon is basically there. Brandi is in a rap group. Who knew that this little girl was a rapper? So she's basically one half of this rap duo. duo. And basically Nick Cannon is telling her that she needs to change her attitude and she needs to come correct. She's ruined a lot of relationships. He spent a lot of money on her previous albums, on previous videos, and he feels like in a moment he's just gonna wipe his hands of everything. She feels like, you know what, I don't understand why Nick Cannon is tripping. Yeah, I've had some issues with a few producers and a few, you know, directors and things like that. As soon as she said that, I already knew what I needed to know. Brandi has a shitty ass attitude, honey, and if she had an issue with any producer or any director, you know she took it from 0 to 100 real damn quick. So I understand why Nick is weary. So Nick decides to ask Max to be her producer. He feels like Max is the only one who can tame Brandi. Brandi's really excited, but you can tell by the look on Max's face, he's not excited at all. He does not want to be bothered with this entire situation. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the studio, because by the look of Max's face, he's not happy at all. He does not want to be bothered with this entire situation. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Nia and Soulja Boy. So Nia's going to go meet up with Soulja Boy. And Soulja Boy's sitting there looking like a damn 15-year-old kid. He just looks creepy to me. He's like a young-faced adult who has just no morals, no respect for himself, no respect for his woman. You know, he just gets on my damn nerves. So he's sitting there grinning like a Cheshire cat because he knows Nia's coming back to him. She has no self-worth. And she's basically there to let Soulja Boy know that her father came to talk to her and that her father is upset with the way that Soulja Boy is treating her. My thing is this: Nia needs to have a tall glass of shut the fuck up, okay? Let's all drink to that. You can't sit here and complain about him and how he treats you, but your dumb ass keeps running back to him. Go on ahead and take a sip, y'all. I'm gonna need Nia's ass to shut the fuck up. If you're gonna put up with his bullshit, then you have no right to complain about his bullshit, point blank, period. It doesn't matter what your father came to tell you. At the end of the day, you're still taking him back with open arms because you have no respect for yourself. You have low self-esteem. So like I said before, if you like it, I love it. I don't wanna hear nothing else about how bad he treats you and how much he needs to change. He's not gonna change because you allow him to treat you the same way over and over again. So why should he change when he can have his cake and eat it too? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Little Fizz, and Little Fizz decides to meet up with Marla. And as we all know, Marla is Moniece's mom. Little Fizz is upset because he's trying to figure out why Moniece has not been coming to see Cameron. It's been 3 weeks and he's not showing up. He feels like Marla needs to step up and be more of a grandmother and basically take on the role of Moniece. Marla's feeling like, you know what? No, I'm just the grandmother. I'll be there for my grandchild, but I don't have to do any more or any less. I didn't make a baby with you. And I definitely, you know, I felt like this scene was really sad. I felt bad for Little Fizz, but I also feel like Little Fizz is tired of everything being on him, because let's all keep it real. Little Fizz wants to run the streets. Now that he's getting more popular and more fame from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, he wants to run the streets. He wants to chase the appetizers. He wants to do him the same way that Moniece is doing her. You know, this reminds me what a lot of single mothers go through. You know, we end up getting stuck with the children and we end up having to raise them while the fathers want to run the streets and go do them, and it ends up being kind of a jealousy issue. You know, it's like, well, damn, he can run the street and talk to all these other girls and do him, but I'm always here with the baby. I'm always here stuck with the kids. So I feel like that's what's going on. It's not so much that he's upset or he necessarily wants Moniece there. I think that Little Fizz wants to, you know, stretch his wings. He wants to go out and do his own thing as well without always having to be tied down to his son, because Moniece is not sharing that responsibility, you know, which I just think is just complete and utter bullshit that she's not. And I feel like Little Fizz really cares about her and he wants the best for her. But at the end of the day, Marla does not owe Little Fizz anything, okay? The most he can ask for is that she be a grandmother and she does what she has to do or what she can do, but she doesn't have to do anything for you. What I learned a long time ago in life is nobody owes you anything. And when you have children, they are your responsibility. It would be great if both parents could, you know, parent and do the co-parenting thing. But if one parent falls off, then it's just on that other parent. It's your job as that other parent to step up and take care of your child. Is it fair? No, it's not. But welcome to the world of being a single parent. We go through this all the time as single mothers. So I'm not going to sit here and feel extra bad for him because he's a single father. This is what people go through in the real world a lot of times when you're a single parent, is because that other parent refuses to take responsibility. You know, but Marla doesn't owe Little Fizz or Moniece anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, she didn't sleep with Little Fizz. Moniece did. And if Moniece is not going to do the right thing, then Little Fizz needs to take her to court and do what he needs to do. If the roles were reversed and this was a man not doing the right thing by his child and not paying child support, not coming to get the child, best believe nobody would have a problem with Marla telling Moniece to go to court court and file papers on Little Fizz. No one would have a problem with that. But because Marla is telling the truth, folks are mad at Marla. I think that's bullshit. I like the fact that Marla's not making excuses for her daughter. I'm disgusted by Moniece's behavior. I'm disgusted that as a woman, she wants nothing to do with her son, but yet and still she wants all the accolades of being a mother without the responsibility. Moving on to the next scene. In the next scene, we have Brandi, and Brandi's in the studio with her wide mouth ass trying to rap a rap song, and she's obviously getting on Max's nerves. She's forgetting the lyrics. She doesn't know the words. She's off beat. She just doesn't sound good. I don't know if Nick Cannon owes Brandi a favor if he's trying to fuck Millie Moto, aka Motorola, you know what I'm saying? But neither one of these girls can rap to me. Motorola ends up getting the boo. She starts trying to rap. She sounds just as bad as Brandi, but yet and still Max is getting all gassed up and hyping her up. Brandi's getting upset. She's getting jealous and insecure because Max is giving Motorola props, but not giving her any props when she was in the studio, and she feels like she wants more support. Max is at his wit's end. He's to the point where he's ready to walk out the studio because he feels like his wife is just doing way too much. It's so obvious to me that Brandi's just painfully insecure. This girl does not want to be a rapper. To me, she just wants to be there to be all up in Max's business. She just wants to be in the studio with her husband so she can keep tabs on him. Nothing about her screams rapper. Nothing about her Motorola screams lyrical. I feel like her and her homegirl are just trying to come up with this little rap group so they can keep tabs on her husband. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Moniece, and Moniece is singing some type of struggle song. She sounds really, really bad. Her voice is not all that to me. You know what I'm saying? I find it funny that this woman has all this time to, you know, come up with songs and you know, go to rehearsal, get her nails done, go to spa dates and start fights with Princess, run around town chasing broke pennies. She has time to do all of this, but yet and still she can't go see her son. So Little Fizz comes up there and he comes to go talk to her. And all of a sudden she gets defensive, she gets mad, and she has the audacity to accuse Little Fizz of bullying her. You know what I'm saying? And all he's saying is, why haven't you come and seen Cameron in 3 weeks? Why have we not heard from you? And she automatically gets on the defense. She comes up with all types of excuses. She refuses to address the situation. She turns around and flips the entire situation on Little Fizz. And this is why I cannot stand Moniece. This chick is manipulative. She takes no personal responsibility, and she loves to deflect the issue onto everybody else. Little Fizz gets really upset and tells her that basically Marla has encouraged him to take her to court. And Moniece gets mad and says that nobody's ever there for her. They don't care about her, and she breaks down crying. Little Fizz starts crying. He's saying, you know what? I'm the only one there for you. And up until the other day, I just found out how much that your mom does not care about you and how much your mom is not there for you. And I think Little Fizz was wrong for that. I don't feel like Marla does not care about her daughter. I think Marla is tired, okay? I think Marla is tired, and Marla sees how much Moniece manipulates the situation. One thing that gets me with a lot of people, I notice a lot of folks making excuses for Moniece online. And I feel like people only making excuses for Moniece is because she's pretty. If Moniece looked like Precious or something like that, nobody would be excusing her. Folks would be dragging her up and down. If Moniece was a man, no one would be excusing Moniece's behavior. Folks would be dragging her up and down social media. What Moniece is doing is not okay. This woman has time to do whatever she wants to do, but she can't go see her son. What Little Fizz needs to realize is that everybody is not equipped to be a parent, okay? This goes for men and women. Some people just do not have the mothering chip. Other people do not have a fathering chip. And if you find yourself with somebody who just cannot be a parent, at that point in time, you need to make a decision as the main parent to just fall back and just take care of your son and say, F Moniece. Take her to court, get her for child support, and keep it moving. She obviously does not want to have anything to do with her son. She obviously wants to run the streets, and she obviously wants to make excuses for why she's not there. I don't feel bad for this girl at all. This woman is damn in her 30s, and she's done nothing for her son since she's lost custody. And people also need to realize that when you lose custody, they don't just take custody from a mother, especially a mother, on a fleeting whim, okay? Obviously, there was all types of evidence against Moniece showing that she was a piss poor mother. That's why Little Fizz won full custody of their son. So Moniece's tears and her breaking down, that shit didn't move me at all. If that was a man making all types of excuses and deflecting as to why he's not there for his child, folks would be dragging that man up and down social media. So Moniece gets no respect from me whatsoever. I hate the fact that people make excuses for her just because she's a pretty girl. Just because she's pretty does not mean anything. She needs to be held accountable for taking care of her child. Point blank, period. Moving on to the next scene. So in the last and final scene, we have FabAB, and she's decided to call Mulan honey. She wants to know what's going down with Mulan and Miles. And Mulan tells her point blank, you know, well, you can come down here to the studio and me and you can have a conversation. Now, what I find really funny is how the hell FabAB is walking. It must be really hard to walk and tuck at the same damn time. Tell me y'all wasn't thinking the same damn thing when y'all seen FabAB walking in that dress. She looked like she had some damn balls between her legs. Anyways, that's my recap for this week. Let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. What did you think about this week's episode? And then how do you feel about everything that went down with Moniece, Little Fizz, and Marla? Go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.